Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. With this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce RTX 4060 in Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. This one is the MSI Ventus 2X version of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Ups. GPU 0, Sassable bar is also enabled. And over on the left, I'm pairing it with a Ryzen 9 7950X 3D CPU with half of its cores disabled, making it pretty much the same as a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D and 32 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 mega transfers per second RAM in dual channel. Let's get into it, shall we? And here we have it. Let's start by going through the settings. I'm at 1080p resolution using high settings preset. Motion blur is set to 0%. I'm using DLAA as well. This drops your FPS by just a little bit compared to none over here, but it's only like 3 FPS, so it doesn't really matter too much, and it looks a lot better than native or TAA and stuff. And down here, everything else is set to the high preset as well. No frame generation at the moment. We're going to check that out. We're also going to check out some DLSS on quality and higher resolutions as well. So let's do this. Okay, this is it, guys. We're getting 50-ish frames per second around here at native 1080p resolution with the high settings. It's, I guess, somewhat expected since this is a UE5 title, you know. But the thing is, this game is super CPU intensive. Oh boy, I think this is an anomaly right here. It even stuttered our game right there. You know, we got a little stutter. But yeah, guys, I saw with the RTX 4090 video that I went down to like 50 and even 40 frames per second near this area right here. And it was CPU bound. So I'm hoping that that doesn't happen with the 4060, you know? It doesn't get bottlenecked with the 7800X 3D. And well, so far that GPU usage stayed at 99%, so I think there's no problems with CPU bottlenecking here, but you really got to have a very beefy CPU if you want to run this game properly. And even then it will stutter a little bit here and there, but it's just down to the fact that UE5 stutters and has traversal stuttering everywhere. And look at this. Damn, dude. I don't think it's running out of VRAM. It could be stuttering because of that as well. I didn't really see any of these huge stuttering issues with the RTX 4090 video. And of course, with the 4060, we only have 8 gigabytes of VRAM. But the RTX 4090 around this area was consuming around 18 gigabytes of RAM as well, and 9 gigabytes of VRAM. But that was at a higher resolution as well. So I think what we're seeing here on the VRAM allocation and usages is actually accurate, and the 4060 is not running out of VRAM just yet. Yeah, these 1% lows, man. But again, it's not swapping anything into the RAM. RAM usage went down compared to the other area, as did the VRAM usage and allocation as well. It's now below 7 gigabytes, so maybe it stutters just because it stutters. It's the engine, UE5. It's the terrible engine at work, basically. And that sucks to see. Oh boy. Oh boy. The atmosphere, dude. It's insane. I really like this. Especially when I'm not recording, you know, you can actually immerse yourself into this game by quite a lot. And oh, is this a tripwire bomb? Yes, it is. That's a grenade over there. All right, and that's another one. Should we try to disable it? Yes. Okay, we can actually disable it like so. Yeah, just grabbing grenades here. Hope you don't mind, enemies. There we go. Oh, hello. Where is he? I can see him. Up there? I don't know, where? I'm confused. Oh my god, okay, of course. I tripped in one of them. Oh, damn it, they got me. There we go, headshot. Ooh, this is a nice one. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. And he also has another AK-47. Maybe let's unload that, because I already have one of them. Okay, another thing that I'm curious about is whether or not the game drops a lot of FPS whenever you zoom in with the scope. So, we're gonna find that out right now. Zooming in. No, it does not. So at least it's optimized. In terms of scoping. There are some games like Squad, for example, which drop a lot of FPS whenever you aim down sights with a big scope like this. Also, no more stuttering or big stutters happening anymore. So I guess maybe it was just running out of VRAM a little bit. in that other area because it requires more VRAM there. Let's go. I'm gonna grab this one as well. Am I actually picking up the grenades? I'm not sure. But alright, let's go. Oof, look at this. Damn, dude. As you can see, you can actually get 60 FPS or close to it sometimes. And if you overclock this GPU, or if you have a factory overclocked RTX 4060, or like a ROG Strix, this one's actually slightly OC'd out of the box. But like a ROG Strix version, for example, it should give you a little bit higher FPS and achieve 60 on average. But let's check it out now with frame generation on top of the native resolution with DLAA. So now we got DLAA plus FG 100% resolution scale, not using DLSS quality just yet. And this will retain the best visual fidelity with the best smoothness at the same time, I think. It's slightly softer and you might be able to tell a little bit of artifacting here and there, but honestly, I'm not really able to tell any of that. But in terms of VRAM allocation, it went up by a little bit because frame generation utilizes a little bit more VRAM. There we go, a couple of kills. Oh boy, okay. Oh, this is where I was with the RTX 4090. Okay, let's get these guys. Ooh, so many. So many of them. This is terrible. Oh no. Oh, they're throwing grenades at us as well. I'm just gonna go back. Take some cover maybe around here, yes. I think they got a sniper guy somewhere as well. Ooh, this is crazy, guys. But yeah, in terms of input lag, it's there. I can notice it. There we go. But it is not too obnoxious, honestly, at around 80-something FPS. Even though this is a first-person shooter, the input lag doesn't really hurt my experience too much here. Come on. Oh, you should die with one bullet. It's a freaking sniper rifle. Kind of. The MR kind of thing here. Yeah. Oh, I'm hungry, actually. Let me check if I have some food on me. Well, I guess I'll just eat some bread. Oh, there's a grenade. Did I eat the bread? I don't think so. Let's go. Eat the bread. Eat the bread. Look at that. You even see the bites he took from the bread. It's kind of crazy, the attention to detail here in some of the animations. What is this? Can I break this? No. I know you're here somewhere. Do you now? Where are you? Show yourself. Show yourself, buddy. No one's inside. Oh boy, now I am inside. Yes, sir. Ooh, lots of bullets. Oh yes, this is exactly what I need. No. Where? Why are you wasting your bullets? You're not even seeing me. I think I'm all... Oh, there's the guy. He doesn't seem to care about us. All right. Well, be gone. Oh boy, big stutter right there. Did you notice the VRAM allocation and the RAM usage as well when that happens? If the RAM usage went up, that means, and the VRAM usage went down and allocation, that means that it actually ran out of VRAM there and the stutter was VRAM related. I don't know because I wasn't looking at it, but you guys do know now. Okay, so now I'm back to this little city area, guys. And the FPS are definitely lower here. It's starting to stutter more again. Yeah, GPU usage is fluctuating because of the stutters. And also, not only. Right here, it's like down to 90% at times with 70 FPS. Doesn't feel input laggy still. I can notice it, but it's not game-breaking. If it was a competitive shooter, yeah, it would be game-breaking. Since it's a single-player title. I'm fine with this. But let's try it out now on quality DLSS with no frame generation, still on high settings. And yeah, as you can see, 50s. Oh boy, what the heck? Dude, that was crazy. Alright, so in terms of quality of the DLSS, it's actually decent. I can see that the picture became a little bit blurrier. But it's not terrible. It's not like pixelated or anything. So, although whenever you move, those reflections get really noisy and pixelated. But yeah, with quality DLSS at 1080p resolution, even here, we're getting 60 plus. So, not a major problem, I guess. So it shouldn't really drop too much from 60 FPS. So yeah, As you can tell, the game definitely requires a lot of work still when it comes to the optimization. Being UE5 doesn't help it, obviously, so the traversal stuttering will likely be there even after it's fully optimized, but this is a bit too much for sure. Look at that. Okay, I just stopped it there. If you want to know what kind of FPS we get with DLSS quality plus frame generation, this is it. 90 FPS instead of those 60s that we were seeing. In terms of input lag, it's a little bit better than it was before with just frame generation over native resolution. Now we can reach like 100 FPS at times. Yeah, I mean, but this is way too blurry at the moment. FG plus quality DLSS makes the reflections especially look really, really blurry. I don't think I would play like this unless you have a really small monitor and you can't notice the softer look and the noise and stuff. I think we should try it with a lower preset here. Let's try medium settings, okay? 0% motion blur. I'm going to disable DLSS. Actually, I'm just going to enable the LEA. And I'm also going to disable frame generation here. Apply. I'm going to restart the game to make sure that it fully applies everything. But taking a look at the medium settings, this is it. Interestingly, it got to compile the shaders again after you change it to the medium settings. And we're getting just below 60 FPS around this area. Reflections look better now, less noisy. We can get 60 plus sometimes. So now instead of getting like 58 average, which is what we saw previously, we're definitely going to achieve an average above 60 frames per second. But unfortunately, you don't really get 60 plus all of the time. For that, you'll need DLSS once again, or frame generation, of course. Let me just drink some vodka here to lower down our radiation poisoning. There we go. Look at that, everything became so saturated, holy crap. It's like I'm editing a thumbnail and pushing the saturation to the maximum. What the heck, right? Now, what's the big trade-off here compared to the high settings? I'm not really seeing it. The pop-in is still huge. You get a lot of pop-in in this game, unfortunately, so that's something that they gotta work on as well. Even on epic settings with the RTX 4090, there was a ton of pop-in issues, so yeah, I guess they did that because otherwise the game would just run terribly. I mean, it sort of already does sometimes, but even worse, you know, so yeah, it's probably for the best, but they need to work on that for sure. Texture quality is still very nice looking, look at that. And now that we're playing on medium settings, we're not running out of VRAM at all. Right now on medium, it seems to only allocate just below 6 gigabytes, which is perfectly acceptable in my opinion. Especially for the kind of textures that you get. Like, look at this. Look at this. Other games allocate way more VRAM than this and actually use more VRAM than this. And they don't have textures looking this good. So they definitely did some things right in terms of the optimization. It's not all terrible, okay? And I guess that's about it. Okay, people are inside here. Why did you shoot me, buddy? I didn't want to kill you. Oh, boy. And you only had this. I could have helped you if you didn't start shooting. You bastard. Probably Bob's friend, so no need to feel bad, okay, guys? Let's go. Let's continue this way. 60s. Yeah, it's pretty solid like this. There's no need to utilize frame generation or DLSS if you don't want to. Although, let's check it out still, okay? DLSS frame generation. Let's apply that. And with that enabled, instead of getting those 60s, we're now up into the 100s. Again, it's looking slightly, ever so slightly softer than previously, but the FPS are way higher, so it's going to be way smoother. Oh boy! On a high refresh rate panel, I would definitely recommend you to play like this. DLSS frame generation is doing wonders, and that frame time graph seems to have stabilized a little bit at the same time with frame generation enabled. Oh! Okay. Alright, more of them. Stop! Oh gosh, these boars, man. Oh boy, there are lots of them. No. Oh boy, no, please, heal! Gosh! Alright, let me go up here. No, I can't. Run away! Oh no, this was an anomaly! Damn it! I like that when we die in this game, there's a death counter. I died 3 times already. But it shows you. I think we're gonna end this series in Stalker 2 with like 69 deaths. That's where we were. This is where we died with this anomaly right here. Look at that. If I throw a little bolt at it, it will go crazy. Look at it. What the heck? Oh, and it's gone now. Good. We took care of it with a bolt. You know what? That's probably enough of a DLSS frame generation. Let's try it without DLSS frame generation, but with quality DLSS instead. So here we have it. This is it. Getting very similar FPS. Maybe like 10 less FPS or so than frame generation alone. Obviously, things look a little bit worse right now with DLSS quality instead of FG over native resolution, especially again on those reflections. Those look terrible now. And obviously with DLSS quality instead of frame generation being utilized, when you come across little settlements with a lot of NPCs that you can interact with, not these, which you can kill, you know, the other ones, those are very, very CPU bound, so you'll likely become CPU bottlenecked in those scenarios. This is a big base, what the heck? But yeah, once again, like, this is a big base, there are probably tons of enemies inside, but it's not intensive because they're not interactable. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is very, very bad. Oh, I can't even aim at this point. Ah! Oh boy. Okay, heal, please. There we go. No, no, no. I'm just gonna go in this direction. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Reload. Oh, boy. I wish I had ammo on my sniper rifle still. If only I hadn't wasted it. I missed a ton of shots with that, right? Come on. I tried to go for a headshot. There we go. I got him, finally. I'm still wasting a lot of ammo here. Gonna reload now. Couple of them right there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's really pixelated actually, guys. Like looking at them from this distance, not this direction. Gosh, damn it! Since they were moving against the grass there, it was super noticeable the fact that we're using DLSS and it's upscaling the picture from 720p resolution. That's DLSS quality at 1080p. So it doesn't really look all that great, guys. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I think FG is definitely the way to go, once again. You know what we need to do? Change the settings. I want to check it out at 1440p with this GPU. Obviously not a good resolution for it, but since it's running kind of well here, at 1080p, 1440p should actually be decent and playable. So that's what I'm gonna do. Obviously you could enable frame generation on top of DLSS quality, have an even higher refresh rate experience, but again, it looks pretty rough with quality DLSS. I think I'd keep it at DLEA with frame generation here at 1080p resolution, and that's probably the best way to go if you have an RTX 4060. No problems with VRAM anyways, and yeah, it just works, I guess. So let's go up to the 1440p resolution. This is it, 2560 by 1440, and we're utilizing medium settings with DLEA, so native 1440p. So I'm restarting the game because it was bugging out and it's compiling the shaders again. So every time you restart it, it compiles the shaders again and again. It takes a little longer for the first time, you know, but here we have it. Yeah, you gotta wait like 30 seconds here, I guess. Not a big issue. And well, here we go. This 1440p medium settings, native resolution. Keep an eye out for those huge stutters. If it starts running out of VRAM, it will happen again, you know. But for now, it seems to be stable. Drops into the 30s though, which is... It's bad, but at the same time, it's UE5, it's medium settings. It still looks really good, actually. And it's 1440p resolution. A resolution that is not really the target res for an RTX 4060, right? Although it can play a lot of games at 1440p resolution, especially older titles, you know, those will run great. But the thing is, at 1440p, this is gonna shine with quality DLSS, in my opinion. not DLSS frame generation, because now the baseline FPS are pretty low. So if you enable frame generation over this, you'll get like 30 more FPS, and the input lag will be super noticeable and annoying. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna jump to quality DLSS right away and look at the difference that it makes. In terms of graphical fidelity, by the way, let me just drink some vodka to get rid of the radiation poisoning. Yeah, as you can see, it's not going to be a perfect experience, but it's close to that, right? I wouldn't mind playing at 1440p with quality DLSS. It actually looks better than native resolution at 1080p at the moment. So there's that. Obviously, native 1440p looks better than DLSS quality 1440p, but I wouldn't mind this. Especially given that outside of this area, you will achieve 60 plus FPS. So that's awesome. Even 70s, as you can see. It's actually pretty decent for the 4060 here, considering that this is not an amazing GPU, you know, it's not very fast. It was pretty underwhelming when it came out. It still is sometimes. And considering that this is a UE5 game that, well, lacks a bit of optimization for sure. Jax, please. I really wish I wouldn't do this to you, but no, stop. Come on. Get over here. Can I actually pet them? Can I make them my pets? That would be nice. I don't think so. They just keep attacking me, so yeah. Okay, well, actually, let's just get it over with the pistol, otherwise I'd die. You know, this is actually a stable experience. It's a good one. The VRAM usage is alright, and allocation as well. It's smooth, it doesn't stutter too much. But now let's enable frame generation on top of this and see how it looks and how it plays as well. Alright, stutters there. VRAM usage and allocation went up, but it's still under control, well under 8 gigabytes. We're not gaining a ton of performance by using frame generation here at 1440p. It's still a noticeable difference, and that means that, for example, in the other area with the NPCs and so on, it will probably not drop from 60 FPS from now on, so we gotta check that out actually. Hey, what the heck? Okay, that was weird. Wait, what is going on? Oh, there are people there. Friendlies though. What's up? Here we are, arrived at the city. Bigger stutter there, probably traversal actually. And yep, we're not dropping from 60 FPS anymore, even from 70 FPS, but we're seeing a little bit more stuttering, I think. Maybe it's just because we got here. I think with the 4090 it also stuttered a lot when I got here, so it's probably not VRAM related. And yeah, it's stable. Obviously, when the FPS are in the 70s, you can notice quite a bit of input lag, which feels meh. But you can't really shoot people here anyways, I think. Oh, you can. Hello, buddy. Why aren't you shooting back? Oh, yeah, it wasn't me. It was them. Obviously. Go. Kill them bastards. No? Wait, you can actually kill them? Oh, okay. Damn! Alright, so you are the master of your destiny here. I think this video wouldn't be complete without a 4K test. I'm just gonna set it to performance DLSS right away at 4K, alright? Okay, so I needed to restart the game. We're back in the menu at 4K resolution using medium settings preset. DLSS is set to performance. This will upscale the game from 1080p to 4K, but it looks way better than 1080p, of course. And no! Why are you getting 7? Okay, now it loaded properly. It was just loading, having some trouble loading there. Alright, so 4K resolution. Again, it looks way better than 1080p. It looks way better than 1440p native resolution as well, especially because I'm using a 4K panel here. And it actually looks really impressive. Like, with this amount of vegetation, I thought it wouldn't look that great with performance DLSS. But it turns out, maybe because most of the vegetation is pretty static, you know, it moves slightly only. Maybe because right now the weather is actually good, not stormy. But yeah, the DLSS works pretty well here. Obviously, if it wasn't for DLSS performance, it would be a complete mess, because at native resolution it would definitely run out of VRAM even with medium settings. But if you have a 4K panel for some reason with an RTX 4060, you can still play Stalker 2 with like 30 plus FPS all of the time. Yeah, maybe in a bigger settlement it will drop a little bit further than this, into the 30s, but so far, has it even dropped into the 30s? I don't think so. This is pretty good, and it's a pretty nice experience on a 4060 actually. And since the game is single player, I wouldn't really have a major problem playing it with like 40-ish FPS. And if you're wondering if we enable frame generation on top of it, it is probably not going to run very well. Because it usually doesn't, you know. It runs out of VRAM very fast. Yeah, it gets 50-something FPS. Stop! Anomaly! There we go. We're fine. Oof, I'm very low HP right now. But yeah, the VRAM gets filled up really quickly here with frame generation and performance DLSS at 4K resolution. It only gives us like 5 or 6 more FPS than what we were seeing previously, or maybe 10 maximum. And it introduces back those huge stutters that we keep seeing on, and we saw those on high settings as well. And it turns out it was definitely because the VRAM was getting filled up and swapping into the RAM, unfortunately. So yeah, the frame generation at 4K won't really do much for you if you have 8 GB of VRAM. So leave it alone, just play with performance DLSS medium settings. It actually works surprisingly well. Also, on the CPU side of things, remember, you gotta have a very strong processor. I think something like a 5700X 3D shouldn't bottleneck a 4060, but something slower, maybe like a 5600X or especially a Ryzen 3000 series, those will struggle, and I think those will become a bottleneck for the 4060. Even at 1080p native resolution. Not that it will become completely unplayable, I don't know that. Maybe it's just gonna get a lower frame rate overall and no stutters, but keep that in mind, this is very CPU intensive. With all of that said, thanks very much for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one very soon. As always, love you all, bye-bye.